welcome to Season's News, bringing you top stories impacting the Christian community in Nigeria and across the world. The headlines. Nigerian Christians urge the United States to restore religious persecution designation after years of killings and kidnapping. Boko Haram kills 7 Christians and sets churches ablaze in Borno State, Nigeria. Osinachi Nwachukwu's widower sentenced to death for her murder. Conclave to elect a new pope begins May 7th after the passing of Pope Francis. Gospel singer CeCe Winans to perform live at American Idols. I'm Lucy Mulekon. Here are the top stories this week. Christian leaders in Nigeria are calling on the United States to reinstate the country on its list of countries of particular concern over religious persecution, since the Biden administration removed Nigeria from the list in 2021. Attacks on Christians by the Islamist groups have continued. Catholic bishop reports that 145 priests have been killed in the last decade, with 11 killed and 4 still missing. Bishop Oliver Dashedome of Maiduguri Diocese backs the call for reinstatement, citing escalating violence in the region. Boko Haram militants launched a deadly attack on Christian communities in Borno State on April 28, killing 7 mourners and setting homes and churches on fire. Witnesses said residents were targeted indiscriminately during a funeral procession. Several others were injured during the raid. Peter Nwachukwu, husband of the late gospel singer Osinachi Nwachukwu, has been sentenced to death by hanging. He was convicted on 23 counts, including culpable homicide, following years of alleged domestic abuse that led to her tragic death in 2022. We'll go on a short break and be back shortly.
Hi guys, did you know God made you wonderfully special? Yup, in the beginning, He made us boys and girls, each with a purpose. Sometimes, the world tells us confusing things, but guess what? We can always trust what God says in His Word.
You're fearfully and wonderfully made, just the way God designed you.
Let's make good choices and honor God with our bodies. God's design is perfect, just like you.
Welcome back from the break. In the heart of the Nairobi's vibrant student hub, a unique movement is taking shape. Young believers are coming together to worship and express their Christian faith through art. Worship and paint, now in its 3rd year, continues to grow as a creative sanctuary where spiritual devotion and artistic expression blend seamlessly. The 9th edition of the event was held in the first quarter 2025 at Y Hall, a Christian youth center in Roy Sambu, known for its dynamic student life. Roy Sambu is home to several universities and a network of students, making it a fitting backdrop for this innovative fusion of faith and creativity. Excitement filled the air at the Guiding Light Assembly Abuja as Pastor Tinu Asiegeme launched her new book titled Unveiled, Uncovering the Lives and Legacies of Women in the Bible. The event took place on Sunday, 27th April 2025 and drew guests from across the city for an evening of inspiration and empowerment. Season's team was on ground to cover the live event.
Good evening. We are here live at the Guiding Light Assembly Abuja Worship Center, where excitement fills the air as Pastor Tinu Asiegeme officially presented signed copies of her highly anticipated new book titled Unveiled, Uncovering the Lives and Legacies of Women in the Bible. It's Sunday, the 27th of April 2025, and guests are already gathering for what promises to be an inspiring evening from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Stay tuned as we bring you the highlights of the event and what attendees have to say about this beautiful location. We're coming back. Hi.
Good evening.
How do you feel being here today?
I'm so excited to be here today. I'm elated.
I'm super excited. Super excited.
Hi, it's amazing to finally be here to read and learn more about why Pastor Tinu decided to write this book.
It's lovely. It's awesome to come out and support my sister.
Have you read the book?
Yes, I have.
And what's your one take?
That's every day of our lives we're fulfilling purpose, and we need to be aware and walk in that consciousness, because God is looking for people to use even today.
For me, it's more like I never saw most of the women in that book in that light. So it just opened another, it's like a book filled with so much wisdom, and I can relate to each woman in a different way now.
Hey, Mama! We want to hear from you.
Yeah.
What is this book about? Unveiled. What is it about?
I just believe that every character in the Bible had an hidden part of their lives that without the Holy Spirit you will not see. If they lived in the Old Testament in the days of the reality, and God says that there is something that is still behind, that is after the veil. When Jesus came, he tore the veil open, and everybody can see God. So we're trying to see all the women in the Bible behind the veil.
The Vatican has confirmed that the secret conclave to elect the new Pope will begin on May 7th. This comes after the death of Pope Francis in April 21st. Cardinals will gather at the Sistine Chapel, which was closed to tourists this week in preparation for this historic event. A Christian man in Jaranwala, Pakistan, has been sentenced to death under the country's blasphemy laws following riots in August 2023. Christians across social media condemned the verdict, citing injustice and the lack of accountability for Islamist mob, who destroyed over 80 Christian homes and several churches. As we reflect on these stories, some filled with sorrows, others with hope, we encourage the Christian community to stand firm in faith. That's it on Seasons News this week. I'm Lucy Mulekon. Until next time, stay informed, stay faithful, and God bless you.